Welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are swapping out the throttle body for a new one, trying to hunt down an issue I've been having with the 1 Series with limp mode. So yeah, I'm going to do a quick install and show you guys how to install a throttle body. If you have an N54, it's pretty simple. It's held on by 4 bolts. You just have to disassemble the intake and the charge pipe, and then you're able to take this buddy off. It's an electric throttle body, so it's pretty easy to take on and off. Not a lot of mechanical stuff that you can mess with. So it's going to be a pretty quick install, and then I'll update you guys on what the actual issue was with this car. Yeah, to get to the throttle body we have to disassemble some parts of the car, and the throttle body is located right there. And so we're going to have to take off the strut brace, the air filter cabin assembly, and the intake side. Next step to get the throttle body off is to take the charge pipe off. So we're going to have to take the diverter valves off the charge pipe, unhook the charge pipe over there, and then unhook the charge pipe right here. So once we have that off, we have access to the throttle body. I had a little trouble getting the map sensor off. Unplugging it because I was having a hard time getting in, but I was able to pull it out and got the map sensor with the charge pipe off. While I'm at it, since I'll be upgrading the map sensor, but for now we're keeping this, I'm gonna do a cleaning of the map sensor and put it back in. That way, if the map sensor was giving me any issues as well, it won't anymore. But in a future video we'll be doing a map sensor upgrade to a 3.5 bar map sensor to increase the boost ceiling, so it'll just read more accurately, and it will have less issues if we're going for big boost. Taking off the throttle body, and the throttle body is attached with 4 10mm bolts. So get a 10mm hex socket and just take the bolts off, 1, 2, and then they're on the bottom sides in approximately the same locations as this. Once we take those off, we can take the throttle body off and see if the throttle body was faulty and that's what was causing the issue, if there was a different issue and the throttle body was happening to be throwing codes. Now once we have that off, we have to take the connector right there off. Alright, so we're going to take the new throttle body, reconnect this connector, reconnect the electrical connector down there, slap it back on the car, and see if that fixes the problem. What usually goes bad is the TPS sensor, throttle position sensor, in these, and in the E46 it's just a small little sensor. It's like this big. You can unscrew. There's one on the front, there's one on the back, which is kind of a pain in the butt if you have to take the whole intake off. But yeah, you change that, and this one you have to change the whole throttle body. So yeah, that's what went bad on mine, which I'm suspecting is the TPS that went bad. So that's why I didn't even bother cleaning this one, since I'm assuming with the codes I was getting and the high voltage output on the TPS that it was not working properly. Alright, as I mentioned earlier, this is the new throttle body. Make sure it has the gasket in here, and that's very important. If you're taking the throttle body off, make sure you get a brand new gasket so it kind of seals properly to the intake manifold. And that's pretty much the only tip you kind of need to know when reinstalling a throttle body. Just make sure some of those pieces are installed. So what I'm going to do now to make my life easier, I'm going to take one bolt and I'm going to put it in on the top one and put it on the throttle body instead of going for the bottom ones. Since it sits like this, it's going to try to pull this way, so it's going to be just easier to install it using the top bolts. We've installed the new throttle body on the car, as you guys just saw, and it turned out that that wasn't the fix for the car. So this throttle body, the one that was on the car, was still good. We cleaned it and put it back on and it worked, but the car was still going to limp mode. We cleared all the adaptations. We even changed the pedal, the gas pedal in the car, which also has a potentiometer in it, just like the throttle body, and that also didn't fix the problem. So I took it to a shop since I didn't want to deal with this anymore, because it was about 2 or 3 weeks of me going back and forth, changing so many parts on the car. Turns out I had a wiring issue on the car, and it was related to the JB4 that was installed. So one of the wires was causing a voltage drop from the expected 4.5 to 3.5, and that was causing the limp mode. So the throttle body was fine, it was just the wiring issue. So if you guys are experiencing the same problem, check if you have a piggyback, that might be causing the issue. As always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.